Some excellent entertainment for us this morning here on Power Breakfast. Hope you have enjoyed Wahenga Wenyeji. I certainly have. Well, moving forward now to a conversation on peer mentorship, what that means and how you can be a part of what seems to be a growing trend here in Nairobi. So I have some panelists here who are joining me to discuss this. Sitting next to me is Lucas Kibuchi, who's the director of Moran Creatives. Welcome to Power Breakfast.
Thank you.
We have Florence Kamaitha, founder of Pad Heaven Initiative. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
And last but not least, Nancie Amunga, Director of Dana Communications. So thank you all for being here. I think for the discussion that we're going to have, it's important that we get to know just a little bit about what each of you do in your various organizations. You can share your age if you want to. I'm not forcing you to. We'll start with you, Lucas.
Okay, I'm Lucas, and I'm the Director of Moran Creatives. I'm 27.
Okay.
Okay, Moran Creatives is a branding agency.
Okay.
We do both corporate, retail branding, signage, the shop front signage, web design, and graphic design.
Okay. Yep. Sounds good.
I'm Florence Kamaitha, founder of Pad Heaven Initiative. I am old enough.
that works too.
Okay. So we produce local sanitary pads for women and girls in Kenya. And we do this using the women in Langata Women's Prison.
Wow.
Yeah, so we try to ensure that they get an income while still in prison as they produce a low-cost product for girls.
That's incredible.
Thank you.
Nancie?
I'm Nancie Amunga, the Director of Dana Communications Limited, and an awardee of Top 25 Under 25 entrepreneurs in Kenya. We do courier services and errands within Nairobi and its environs. So for all your traffic problems, we got you.
Okay. Sales pitch. Also. Quick with that. You know, you're all very outstanding young people, and I think, you know, your generation gets a bad rap sometimes of young people are just not concerned with anything that's going on in society, which is not true, as I've heard from the organizations that you have founded and are directing. So I guess we want to talk about peer mentorship, which is different from classical mentorship. Typically when we think about mentorship, we think an older person giving advice to a younger person about the journey and what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do. Now, a lot of your peers are in situations where they can actually gain from the knowledge that you all have, respectively. So is that something that you participate in, or?
Oh yes, I do some mentoring, but it's mostly on social media.
Okay.
Mostly on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's an interesting perspective also of what social media has opened up in terms of mentorship. So how does that work? Maybe you can just explain to us exactly what you do.
Basically, I just motivate the younger guys that in business, it has no age limit. You know, you don't have to limit yourself. If you have an idea, just go ahead and start it. It doesn't matter if you don't have capital, mentors, you just go ahead and start. Everything else will fall into place.
So you motivate young people. Yeah. Do you communicate with them one-on-one in the inbox? Is it just mostly?
Yes, mostly my inbox is ever full. Yeah, and I appreciate that. Yeah.
Florence, do you feel the same way? Do you feel like people want to learn about your experience and know how you've started up an organization and are successful?
Yes, I've had a few people who want to run social enterprises. They want to move from NGOs to start a social enterprise. I've seen young people trying to give back to the community, but they don't know how. So they've seen my work and they've tried to get
well, I'm trying to get to that person, you know, into that person's network, or, you know, share those resources that they have, and maybe just approach you kind of the wrong way, like, kuna namba nani? You know? Like, has that ever happened to you, where you feel like someone is solely interested in you for the networks that you can provide to them?
Yes, it does happen, but what I can say is it does not come easy. You have to work hard for it. You know, when you meet somebody affluent, you know, you just don't wake up in the morning and you say, today I'm going to meet the president, and you just walk into state.
Yeah.
You know, you have to work hard for it until the president recognizes your effort and he calls you for a meeting. Yes, you have to work hard. It's not easy.
Yeah. But there's also a beauty in sharing those networks and having young people see that, wow, that person is accessible through someone that I met in the event, or someone whose work I admire. What are your thoughts on that?
What I would say is, if she has a good contact, and I want to be mentored by that contact, the best way is to just approach her, tell her what I do, get her to know me first, so she can actually trust me enough to give me a referral to that person. So you just don't call her and ask her, can I get Joy's number? Yes, so just get to know, and just make it clear, I would want to meet Joy, but this is what I do, and this is where I think she will help me in my business. So if, of course, in good faith, might just give you a recommendation.
Yeah. How do you sort of weed out who it is that you're going to work with? Do you look for people with similar backgrounds, similar interests as you, especially if they're around your age range, right? And you're probably going to develop a friendship, you know, with this person. What do you look for, other than, you know, them standing out and you seeing that they are being aggressive and that they're serious about wanting mentorship? What else do you look for?
First of all, the first thing I actually do, because I will get like 5 people asking me the same questions, I will actually have to go and do a background check on you. And it's very easy. You go to Twitter, you go to Facebook, I will just find out what kind of person you are. And also, if your works are online, I will still get to read them. So you can tell me this is what you do, and it says otherwise these other places. So also for me, if I'm introducing you to someone, I don't get to burn my fingers or get a bad reputation with this other person. So that is one of the things we do. The other thing we do is actually just look at your character. Are you a good person? Are you a person who I would not feel embarrassed to take you to meet someone? So also you cannot fake character. That is one thing I look at. I don't know what you look at.
Yeah. For me, first, I think I can only mentor someone who's actually maybe doing the same thing that I'm doing, if they want business mentorship, because there's someone who said, if you want to start a butcher business, don't go to a shoemaker to give you advice. Right? So get the right mentors, because if you go to a shoemaker and you want to start a butcher business, they'll tell you, hizo nyama zo woza, you'll make losses, you know, those kind of things. So make sure you get the right mentor. And then another thing, before you approach someone, have content. I usually tell people, I can bring the president here, and then you'll just look at each other, and then he'll walk away, you'll take selfies, and that's it. Right? Make sure you have content at all times. Make sure you do your research very well. Make sure you are up to date with the current affairs, so that at least when you meet people, you have something to talk about. You can hold a conversation. That's it.
Yeah. I completely agree with you. And Lucas, going back to you, you know, having contact with people who are interested in mentorship on social media, it can get a little bit tricky when, you know, you get to know each other, you're feeling like, you know this person and, you know, their business agenda and what it is that they want help from you with. But they also can get into a point where they want you to do work for them. You know, like, you've been successful, you know what it is to run a successful business. Here's my business, help me. Like, you know, and it doesn't feel like they want, you know, guidance. It's more like they want you to step in. And have you experienced that at all?
Yes, but you know, it will depend on the personality of the person. How hard are you working on your business? How do you want to grow your business? If I see that you've put effort in your business, obviously I'll chip in and offer whatever I can.
Including money?
Yes, including money.
Just putting it out there. And as I was mentioning earlier, a lot of times with peer mentorship, being that it's someone maybe who has a similar drive as you, similar interests and background, you end up creating friendships. I don't know whether this has happened to any of you, where you end up getting a friendship out of it, as well as sort of mentoring someone who's along the same course as you. Has that happened to any of you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually good, because when you create a friendship, you're networking, and you know your network will bring business. You know, it works out very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of people sometimes, the criticism that they have of peer mentorship is that they say it doesn't continue for a long time. It's kind of like we get to know each other. Oh, you did this, and this is how you did it. Okay, fine. And that person moves on to try and, you know, catch up with you, sort of. So I don't know if either of you have...
At times, it's a little bit tricky because you really need to define this thing. Because if you are the same age, there is some way we'll start stepping on each other. There is disputes that will come between us, you know. So you really need to have a barrier. You need to have a barrier. This is mentorship in as much
boundaries.
as...
Are we going out together?
Yes.
Or are we meeting?
Yes.
For business
Yes.
purposes?
Yeah. So really have boundaries. Know what you want. If it's mentorship, it's mentorship. If it's friendship, we hang out, we do all those bad things together, then that's it.
Florence, your thoughts on that?
I don't mind the friendship, but what I've seen, it's more of a professional friendship. So you won't call me at 2 a.m. and ask me, where are you? Let's go grab a drink. No. So for me as a mentor, and for you as a mentee, or the other way around, just make it clear, what are we here for? I am here to get advice, to just learn from you. 8 to 5, whatever time we plan to do that, and then any other email we have or correspondence will just be based on the business. Then from there, I'm sure you can grow.
Yeah. How would you encourage other young people who might be watching, who are successful in business or in various, you know, social organizations and such, but they just feel like, I don't have the time, honestly. Me, I'm running my own business. I'm 26 or whatever. You know, I'm hoping to get this rich by the time I'm 30 and retire. Like, I don't have time right now. Maybe later on in life, I can mentor you when I have time. What would you say to that person?
I would tell them to stop being selfish, because I also learn a lot from my mentors. I don't know everything, so I am also learning from the questions you ask me, from the solutions I give you, or how we work. We brainstorm on one thing. I get to learn something, 1 or 2 things from you. And it's not, mentorship is not 8 to 5. Just choose an hour a week or 2 hours a week to just do it. So no one can be too busy to help someone else to move from point A to point B. So just stop being selfish. Give an hour or 2 to bring someone along with you.
Okay.
And I also think mentorship has been made easy with social media, WhatsApp, meaning, so we really don't have to meet every now and then. We can keep tabs, like we can talk via WhatsApp, we can talk via phone, you know, so I mean, it's very easy.
Yes, and you also have to understand, in business, you grow by growing each other. So the support that you give to your fellow guy, it will come back to you.
That was actually going to be my next question in terms of mentorship. What is it that you gain from this experience, other than feeling good that you've guided someone in the correct path?
Okay, I feel happy, because like me, when I started business, I did not have any mentors. They only came afterwards, after I had started, and then I came to find out of these guys who have been struggling in business, the obstacles that they've had to overcome, and you know, it really reflects part of my future. You know, that's what I've been through, and I'm looking forward to become like them. So yeah.
What is it that you feel that you get out of the experience?
I get to learn. I get to increase my network, and also I'm content. I feel very good when I hear someone has been successful. I mentored someone in Nigeria, and one of the things we did last year was I was helping him do proposals, and then he wrote me one time and told me he got a grant to one of the proposals he did. So I really felt good, because he is able to move to another level because of my help. So it's a good feeling.
That's incredible. That's amazing.
I think if you look at it in another perspective, mentorship is like a two-way thing. I learn from you, you learn from me. That's why even mentors choose mentees because I need to know what do you have in between your ears, sorry to say, because I also need to learn from you, right? It doesn't mean that I'm perfect. When we are holding a conversation, you might say something and then it might trigger an idea in me. I've learned from you. I've gained from you. So it's really a two-way traffic in some way.
So you might have the experience, they might have an idea that you don't have, and then it can kind of go both ways on that. Peer mentorship is I feel like it's a little bit new in our society. People aren't really, you know, hooked onto it as, you know, looking for someone twice your age to tell you all the do's and don'ts, because times have changed. Times are still continuing to change, and I feel like mentorship is one of those aspects of growth in business that has changed as well. Like we were talking about being on social media. You know, years ago we couldn't have done this. So maybe just some final words to encourage people, young people either who are looking for mentors or who are in a position to mentor other people, on why they should take peer mentorship up.
You know, it's good that you have someone you look up to, especially someone your age, and someone who has achieved something in life. You know, it does not have to be business. It can be education. So looking up to someone is very important because it motivates you to move forward.
For me, I would encourage them to stop looking at the successful businessmen and women that we have around. I've seen a few young people who are trying to get mentored by Manu Chandaria, Chris Kirubi, and these are guys who really don't have time to, they might have time to mentor a few people, not just everyone. So stop looking at that and come to your level, and you will find there are very, very many people who can really help you and guide you. So stop looking for the top whatever.
There's only so many of those.
There are only so many, and then they're practically busy and traveling all over the world. So for you, come down and then look at the guys who are your age mates. What can you learn from them? What can they learn from you? If I can share with you and you share with me, I think
the two-way traffic that you were talking about, Nancie.
For me, I think in as much as we should try get local mentors, someone at least accessible, because in as much as I can read a book written by Bill Gates, like of Oprah, you know, their problems, our problems, they're kind of different. They're not facing, they did not face what you're facing right now. So make sure you have like a local mentor to like take you through it. And one last thing, I know at times we feel lousy in the morning, we don't want to wake up, but always wake up, dress up and show up. That's how you find opportunities. Just a quick note on something I wanted to ask but slipped my mind earlier. When we talk about peer mentorship, there's an issue of ego that can also come in, where you feel like, please, we're the same age. What are you telling me that, you know, that I don't know? So maybe just you can quickly speak on that person who maybe wants to reach out but isn't quite sure, that they're feeling like maybe you look down on them because if you're this age and you've achieved this much, why haven't I? There's nothing wrong in trying. Just try. If they look down on you, then go to the next person. Of course, we get no's. I get no's at times, even in my business ideas, right? It's part of life. So no means next opportunity. Move to the next part like that.
I like that.
Like me, I had so many people looking down on me, even relatives. Or before, during that period when I was starting Moran Creatives, you know, everyone used to tell me, go look for a job. Hisi kazi, tafuta kazi uandikwe umesoma. But you see, you have to follow your passion. If you're good in doing something, just go ahead and do it. Later on, the rewards will come.
For me, leave the attitude at home. So you cannot be mentored when you have an attitude, and you cannot mentor someone when you have an attitude. So both of you, if you really want to mentor someone, go in it 100%, forget the attitude and the ego, and just be there for that person. Also, if you're a mentee, you cannot learn if you already have that attitude. So let's all leave the attitudes at home.
Well, since we've talked about all that you all have to offer, I'm sure there are people who would like to get into your inboxes and contact you. Maybe you can just share your social media handles quickly.
Mostly I'm on Facebook. It's Lucas Kibuchi, Lucas. Yes, you can even send me an email at info@morancreatives.co.k.
You can find me on Twitter at Kamaiva, or drop me an email, florence@fadheaven.org.
Okay.
Yeah, you can find me in all of them. Nancie Amunga, Nancie with an IE, a little
Okay.
bit of fun.
Yeah.
And I'd like to appreciate one person who has been my mentor, Mary Mudhoni Jason, the chairperson of Women in Business.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing work that you all are doing, and you know, just such great examples for all of us, whatever age we are in society right now. So thank you so much for coming, sharing, and you know, having this conversation about peer mentorship. Thank you so much at home for watching. We're going to have a little more music from the band here on Power Breakfast. Enjoy.